Today, we're diving deep. I mean, really deep. We're going straight into the murky, life-giving waters of the Amazon, home to one of the planet's most awesome and, let's be honest, terrifying predators. We're going to follow its entire life story, from a tiny, vulnerable beginning all the way to its absolute reign.
But here's the thing, we're not just going to watch from the sidelines. No, I want you to imagine, what if this was your life? What if you were born with the instincts of a killer, into a world where the only thing that matters is getting bigger? Today, you're not you. You are the anaconda. So your life begins, but forget warmth and care. Your life kicks off with immediate life or death danger. This is not some gentle welcome to the world. For you, it is a desperate scramble from your very first breath. You're born live, slipping out into the thick, humid air of the Amazon, and your mother, she's gone. There's no maternal bond, no connection. She pushes you and your 20, maybe 40 siblings out and just leaves. The fight for your life has already begun.
And just look at the odds stacked against you. Right now, you're just 2 feet long, basically a snack for jaguars and big birds of prey. Your entire existence is about getting from the column on the left to the one on the right. There's no other option. You either grow or you die. It's that simple.
So, what do? Well, your instincts are screaming at you. First, scatter. Your brothers and sisters, they're not family, they're competition. Next, get to the water. Fast. You just vanish into that murky current, your body becoming just another brown ripple. But you need fuel. You spot a little fish, your muscles tense, and in a flash, you've made your first kill. It's a tiny victory, sure, but it might just be the most important one of your entire life.
Okay, so that first meal, that's a huge turning point. You're not just prey anymore, you're a hunter. And now the long, patient game begins. It's time to master the incredible biological weapons you were born with.
And your number one weapon? It's the very skin you're in. This beautiful, complex pattern of green and brown, it's not just for looks, it is nature's perfect camouflage. Whether you're sliding through the water or coiled up in the jungle underbrush, you're practically invisible. You're basically a living shadow. And that camouflage makes you the ultimate ambush predator. You don't waste energy chasing things down. Why would you? You let the prey come to you. You'll spend hours, sometimes days, perfectly still, looking like nothing more than a silent log in the water. Just your eyes and nostrils break the surface, waiting patiently for something to make one fatal mistake.
Then you see it, a rodent at the water's edge, thirsty and careless. You wait. The world seems to slow to a crawl. And then you explode from the water. There's no real struggle, just the overwhelming force of your body, pure muscle, coiling and squeezing until its life is just gone. But hey, you're still learning, and getting cocky is dangerous. You decide to go for a bigger prize, a capybara, the world's largest rodent. But you completely misjudge its strength. Suddenly, the hunter becomes the hunted, and you get dragged on a wild ride across the river before it finally breaks free. It's a humbling lesson, a reminder that every single hunt is a risk. So, after countless meals and a few of those hard-learned lessons, you transform. That constant fear of being hunted, it starts to fade, and it's replaced by the quiet confidence of a ruler. You're not just a survivor anymore. You're starting to rule this place. You know, in the end, it all comes down to size. You are now massive, over 15 feet long and still growing. Your sheer physical presence changes how every other animal around you acts. You don't have to hide from threats anymore. You are the threat. And your menu? It totally reflects your new status. No more small fish and rodents. Now you're taking down prey that would have terrified you as a youngster. Deer, wild pigs, even the caimans that used to hunt things like you are now on the menu. You've officially made it to the top of the food chain. So, your life has followed this exact path. A desperate birth, a dangerous childhood, and now a dominant adulthood. But surviving is only half the story. A new, ancient instinct starts to bubble up, the drive to pass on your genes.
For a creature that lives its entire life alone, this is an incredible, rare moment. You find a mate, and the courtship is this mesmerizing dance. Two giants coiling around each other in a slow, hypnotic spiral that can go on for hours. It's a brief moment of connection in a life defined by solitude.
But that connection, it's gone in a flash. When it's time to give birth, the reality is just stark. There's this quote that just perfectly captures how unsentimental this whole thing is. It says, "There's really no difference between giving birth and pooping for an anaconda. You just push out the young and abandon them immediately, the exact same way your mother did to you. The cycle just continues." So, you've survived. You've reigned. You've reproduced. You have absolutely won the game of life in the Amazon. But even for an apex predator, time is the one opponent you can't beat. And the final chapter? It doesn't start with a bang. It starts with a slow, quiet fade. I mean, the raw power is still there, coiled up inside that massive frame. But something's different. That explosive energy you used to have, it's fading. Every hunt now requires more strategy, more patience. You have to save your strength in a way you never even thought about before. One day you see a capybara by the water. For old time's sake. You take it. The hunt is perfect, flawless, just like always. But as you swallow the meal, the satisfaction feels kind of muted. That primal thrill is gone, replaced by something quieter, almost weary. And then it happens, the inevitable. You're stalking a young deer, a routine hunt you've done 1,000 times. You lunge, but your body doesn't respond with that old lightning speed. The deer is gone. It escapes. And for the first time in years, you fail. But what you feel isn't anger. It's just a deep, profound exhaustion. And that's really the quiet truth of your end. There's no epic final showdown with a jaguar. No young rival comes to take your territory. You just become too slow, too tired. Eventually, the energy it takes to hunt is more than the energy you get back from the meal. Your body, once the most feared thing in this river, finally becomes still. You find a quiet spot, and you just stop. Your reign is over. And the same jungle you fought so hard to conquer now gently, quietly takes you back. And it kind of leaves us with this big question. For a life like that, stripped down to its most brutal, essential core, what's the measure of success? Was it the number of kills, the incredible size you reached, the fact that you passed on your genes? In a life of pure, solitary survival, how do you even begin to answer that?